Assalamualaikum dan selamat pagi. Awani Pagi bersama dengan saya, Fahmi Zudin. Dan topik hari ini adalah kaitannya dengan belanjawan 2024 di mana yang bakal berlangsung pada minggu depan, di mana banyak harapan yang disandarkan khususnya dalam isu pendidikan supaya pendidikan dan latihan teknikal dan vokasional atau TVET di negara ini bukan lagi dianggap kelas kedua. Sebaliknya, aliran ini diutamakan supaya pada akhirnya kita boleh lahirkan modal insan berkemahiran tinggi mampu melonjak Malaysia ke tahap seterusnya sebaris dengan negara maju lain. Dan seringkali apabila TVET dan negara maju yang disebut, yang menjadi model wajar dicontohi ialah Jerman, di mana data mendedahkan ia memiliki 81% tenaga kerja mahir dan daripada jumlah itu 63% adalah lulusan daripada sistem kolej vokasional dan hanya 18% lulusan universiti. Kesannya Jerman muncul sebagai negara kaya dan maju kerana sistem TVET ini menjadikannya pekerja berkemahiran tinggi. Jadi, kita nak bincang lebih lanjut mengenai bagaimana kita boleh mencontohi sistem Jerman ini untuk memperkasakan TVET di negara kita. Di studio pada ketika ini saya bersama dengan Encik Hamidi Halim yang merupakan pengarah AbroadAssist dan juga bapa kepada seorang anak yang belajar dan bekerja di Jerman, dan juga istimewa kita ada Michelle Maali, seorang influencer warga Jerman dan juga Naib Presiden AbroadAssist Jerman. Selamat pagi, good morning.
Selamat pagi, good morning.
Right, thank you sebab bersama dengan saya pada pagi ini. Saya nak mulakan dengan Encik Hamidi terlebih dahulu melihat kepada satu kenyataan yang diberikan oleh Timbalan Perdana Menteri Datuk Seri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi, di mana kemasukan institusi TVET seluruh negara dibuat melalui UP TVET mulai 30 Oktober ini. Apa mungkin reaksi awal yang boleh dikongsikan?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Terima kasih Awani kerana jemputan pagi ini kepada AbroadAssist. Saya rasa kenyataan itu berpatutan kerana sekarang ini kita lihat daripada segi teknologi yang ada, especially di Malaysia dan juga perhaps di Jerman, kita mahukan workforce ataupun tenaga kerja yang berkemahiran. Dan jadi salah satu lagi benda yang kita perlu hasilkan ataupun perlu strategize macam mana untuk menuju kepada negara maju dan cara kita bergerak ke arah sana. Jadi TPM punya statement tu is very much in tune or in line towards what we need to do as a country.
Yeah. Yeah. Dan before we go to Michelle, saya nak bertanya kepada Encik Hamidi, di mana anak Encik Hamidi juga merupakan seorang pelajar sambil bekerja di sana di Jerman melalui kursus TVET ni. Mungkin boleh kongsikan dengan kami pengalaman anak Encik Hamidi di sana.
Yeah. So dia start selepas dia ambil SPM, and selepas itu of course selepas result keluar kita fikir what does he wants to do. Apa hala tuju dia selepas itu, of course nak melanjutkan pengajian di mana dan juga in what field. Jadi semasa itu kita tengok daripada segi apa yang ada in the market at that moment, and kita fikir yang kita nak hantar dia keluar negara dan juga buat pengajian dalam bahasa, if possible bahasa Inggeris. Jadi ada a few option lah yang kita consider, and one of them of course kita nak kena masukkan dia dalam pra-university ataupun A-level. Jadi kita stumble upon one organisation yang provide A-level dan juga kalau boleh kita dah cakap nak pergi ke Jerman. Jadi that particular institusi ada buat A-level dan Jerman juga at the same time. Tapi bila kita nak masuk, dia cakap that particular course actually tak dapat sambutan. Sebab dia nak kena ambil bahasa Jerman. Okay. Jadi tapi that particular institution mention, okay, you contact this agency, maybe dia ada something that can offer to you. So masa itu lebih kita contact dengan agency, dia cakap ada this program called Ausbildung yang mana kita boleh belajar dan juga bekerja dan dapat allowance untuk tampung diri. Tapi one of the requirement adalah untuk dapatkan tingkatkan bahasa Jerman. Jadi anak saya belajar bahasa Jerman lebih kurang dekat setahun lebih. Jadi dia lepas tu at the end dia dapat at least to B1 ataupun B2 level. Dia kan dia punya starting daripada A1, A2, B1, B2. Jadi dia dapat at least at B1. Dan bila dapat B1, kita apply melalui agensi itu untuk mencari penempatan di Jerman. And alhamdulillah satu rezeki, one of this company, IT company offer dia position untuk jadi IT Specialist System Integration di Jerman. Jadi tapi sebelum tu ada banyak step lah. Maknanya dia kena interview pun dengan supervisor dalam bahasa Jerman. Jadi kita kena coach dia. And lepas tu bila dia dapat, alhamdulillah dia fly dalam bulan Januari 2021 dan dia sudah ada kat sana lebih kurang dah 3 tahun. Jadi salah satu daripada internship ataupun orang dalam company itulah. Jadi agreement yang dia sign tu pun dengan company. Dia dapat lebih kurang at the moment lebih daripada 1,000 euro sebulan. Dia punya allowance which equate to maybe close to about 5,000 ringgit. Jadi ya kita pun berbesar hatilah. Tapi memang dah ada, anak saya memang dah ada experience di sana dah lebih 3 tahun lah.
Wow. Interesting. Michelle, based on your experience as a Germany, what is the TVET system used in Germany and how can some of the futures be considered to follow by Malaysia?
Sure. So first of all, thank you very much. Selamat pagi one more time from my side. This system in Germany is called or referred to as Berufsausbildung. Sometimes, as NG Hamidi has already said, also dual vocational program or TVET. In most cases, especially when it's a dual program, it will be together with a company, as for instance in the case of your son. So that is one of the most important key features of this program. That means, and its USP, so to say, is that 50% is theoretical, and that will be quite standardized for all the different apprentices that go through the program at a school, and 50% is usually done with a company. And the big advantage is as well, because it is with a company, you have really good career prospects. So because these companies, you're already under contract with them, they are spending money, time, and they invest in you. And most importantly, they are building you in a way that you suit their, that you really fit their needs and their demand. So they're very interested to keep you afterwards. Even if they don't, this program has a really, really good reputation in Germany, so you can also switch companies. I think you could generally say this is not something that is new in Germany. The awareness about it is very high, and the association with it is also very positive.
And also I was informed that the engineering was one of the popular courses in Germany. So how does the emphasis on the engineering and technology in TVET education in Germany help produce quality workforces?
So actually, this program in Germany is not only available in engineering. There are over 300 different paths that you can take. So from a dental technician, hotel management, nursing, to the section of technical jobs as well as engineering, there's almost anything available. Something that is very popular in the area of, I would say, engineering and technical is mechatronics. This is something that is very, in very high demand for companies as well. As you know, the automotive industry in Germany is really, really strong. And to have this training is really good from the perspective of the companies, because you bring a skill set that has several different areas covered. You have mechanics, electronics, and IT, for instance, for mechatronics. I think what is really, really important for the industries is by having those apprentices, you're really closing the gap between theoretical knowledge and practical knowledge. So you're really matching that demand that they're in need of.
So there is a correlation between the industry demands and how the courses and also kepada Encik Hamidi, saya ada juga nak bertanyakan, mungkin ada anak Encik Hamidi yang Aiman namanya, mungkin ada perkongsian berkenaan dengan cabaran. Pastinya kalau bermaksudati di negara luar ni ada cabarannya. Apa antara cabaran-cabaran yang dikongsikan dan bagaimana sebagai ibu bapa memainkan peranan untuk bantu menguruskan cabaran tersebut?
So cabaran tu saya rasa banyak, tapi Aiman pun bersetuju juga bila saya talk to him recently, is about trying to get out daripada you punya comfort zone. Kita tak nak saja kita macam dalam kupompong, kita buat benda yang biasa saja and kita tak berkembang. Jadi of course we need to open up to new area. We have to be a better version of ourselves. Then bila kita cakap pasal cabaran, of course the first cabaran is always been the language. And language ni saya rasa bahasa Jerman dia punya kata kausal ataupun dia punya verb ataupun words are more than English. Kalau kita write satu passage in English maybe besar ni, kalau in German it will be almost double. Jadi tapi itu tak bermakna yang kita tak boleh belajar. I think kita nak kena open up kita punya mind and kita boleh belajar benda tu. That's good because in a working environment, dia punya medium of instruction will always be German. Jadi bila bos dah bagi instruction ataupun nak kena tanya sesuatu and so forth, it will be in German. Jadi kita nak kena belajar Jerman and kita will be able to actually excel and also communicate better with kita punya workforce ataupun teammate. Kedua adalah daripada segi bila saya hantar dia masa dia muda, less daripada 20 tahun. And masa dia hantar tu pun masa tu tengah COVID, jadi dia kena pergi sendiri. Jadi bermakna dia have to be self-independent quite early in life, which is good sebab masa itu pun saya letak dia dekat boarding school, jadi dia ada asas-asas untuk jadi independent. Jadi bila dia pergi kat sana, dia kena pergi tempat tu sendiri, dia kena tanya dengan orang. Jadi salah satu daripada cabarannya adalah how do you actually instill some kind of a self-independent, self-confidence nak pergi kat sana in order for you to actually execute some of these things lah, maknanya. Dan juga ketiga adalah daripada segi bila kita masuk environment baru, kita nak kena adapt ataupun adopt either dia punya cultural way. Macam mana dia bekerja in terms of punctuality, nak kena punctual. Kedua daripada segi accuracy, benda yang kita cakap pun nak kena accurate. And of course, I think to a certain extent honesty. Kita nak pergi terus terang. Kan? We don't have to beat around the bush. Then we just say, okay, this is I don't understand this ataupun this is not something that I'm familiar with. Can you teach me? Jadi itu adalah antara cabaran-cabaran yang I rasa kita ataupun pelajar-pelajar sedia ada bila pergi overseas. And then at the same time kalau pergi overseas di mana language pun lain daripada bahasa ibunda kita, bahasa Malaysia or even bahasa Inggeris, jadi kita kena a bit more sensitive ataupun a bit more adaptive lah in that sense in order for us to excel in apa yang kita buat.
Dan juga Encik Hamidi, pastinya mungkin ada segelintir ibu bapa dalam landscape Malaysia misalnya untuk menghantar anak mereka mengambil kursus TVET ini, persoalan yang timbul dalam kalangan mereka adalah berkenaan dengan career growth. So berdasarkan pemerhatian Encik Hamidi sendiri melihat kepada Aiman yang mengambil prospek kerjaya dalam TVET ini, bagaimana career growth itu berdasarkan pemerhatian Encik Hamidi sendiri?
So like what Michelle has mentioned just now, dia punya keboleh pasaran pekerja tadi itu amat tinggi. Pertama, bila dia habis program apprenticeship ni lebih kurang dalam 3 tahun, dia boleh diserapkan masuk sebagai permanent kerja, permanent worker dalam company tersebut. That's pertama. Then is okay lah maknanya. Tapi bila dia dah diserapkan masuk ke dalam sebagai permanent worker ataupun permanent personnel, gaji pun tinggilah. Biasanya IT ni kalau starting yang untuk internship lebih kurang dalam €1,000. Bila dah jadi permanent lebih kurang dalam €3,500. Itu dah jadi permanent lah. Maknanya you are working there. That is already one step higher. 3 kali ganda daripada apa yang you dapat sebelum. Kedua, so kalau dia tak berminat untuk stay dengan company itu, dia ada option juga untuk pergi keluar bekerja di tempat lain. Kedua. Dan bukan hanya di Germany, dia juga boleh keluar dan bekerja di country yang bercakap bahasa Jerman, which is katakan Austria, Switzerland, Belgium, Luxembourg and so forth, which is within that particular region lah. Jadi bermakna walaupun kita lepas bekerja di Germany, kita pun ada option,
ada peluang ke tempat lain juga
untuk bekerja, untuk katakan bahagian IT ini di tempat lain di mana dia punya bahasa perantaraan adalah bahasa Jerman, which is macam yang cakap tadilah. Itu kedua. Dan ketiga, katakan dia cakap okey, saya rasa nak take a break, saya nak buat bachelor degree. Jadi dalam di Jerman pun dia ada satu sistem yang panggil dual study di mana dia boleh buat study untuk bachelor degree dan juga bekerja at the same time. Jadi maknanya kalau katakan dia cakap okey, saya nak finish off with nak buat bachelor degree ke, and then later on dia nak buat master ke, there is that path that is possible, that is within the German education punya framework. And benda tu maknanya ada several option yang dia boleh buat sementara kalau dia habis saja bekerja, dia boleh buat bachelor degree juga.
Okey, wow, menarik sekali sebenarnya, sebab mungkin rata-rata ingat bila kita belajar di Jerman dan peluang pekerjaan itu hanya di Jerman sahaja, tetapi sebenarnya peluang pekerjaan itu juga kepada negara-negara yang menggunakan bahasa Jerman sebagai bahasa perantara. Baik, banyak lagi sebenarnya saya nak berbual dengan Encik Hamidi Halim dan juga Michelle Maali, tapi kejap lagi sebab apa kita perlu berhenti berehat seketika. Kita kembali selepas ini.
Banjir ini luar biasa.
Yang ni memang menyeramkan.
Setiap masalah dihadapi bangsa pasti ada punca dan dalangnya. Tugas kami untuk mencari, mendengar dan membongkar sebarang isu atau masalah agar ada penyelesaian. Setiap sudut akan diteliti, penjelasan semua pihak akan diamati. Tiada fakta yang akan disembunyi.
Kita bongkar semua, dedah sampai habis.
Mendedahkan kepincangan, rasuah dan masalah rakyat jadi tanggungjawab yang kami galas. 501 bongkar, terpaling dedah.
Bertemu kembali dalam AWANI Pagi bersama dengan saya. Saya sejak tadi bersama dengan Encik Hamidi Halim yang merupakan pengarah AbroadAssist dan juga Michelle Maali yang merupakan influencer dan juga warga Jerman serta Naib Presiden AbroadAssist di Jerman, membincangkan berkenaan dengan kepentingan kursus TVET ini dan bagaimana sebenarnya Jerman berupaya untuk memastikan kursus TVET ini menjadi pilihan utamalah dalam melahirkan tenaga kerja yang berkemahiran tinggi sehingga mencapai lebih 80%. Okey, baik, soalan saya seterusnya to Michelle, maybe you can share a little bit on, are there any career development? Just now we talking about career growth based on your son experience. How does the career development and training programs provided by the university in Germany and also companies, and how do these programs shape their skills and also expertise to achieve the career goals?
So you could generally say that this program by itself is basically a career development program. It is your first step to really, strengthen your career, or the first step into your career. Because this whole program itself, as mentioned previously, is one side, is not just the training, it is also the practical aspect, and at the same time, you're working with a company. So ideally, later on, you will be working with this company. That's why I like to refer to this program by itself to a career development opportunity. It is not simply just an academic training or educational training. Some companies on top of that will provide different seminars to further, strengthen the skills required by them. It will be depending on each company though. So that is depending on the case.
Yeah. And also, looking through the Malaysian landscape, Encik Hamidi and also Michelle, the problem with our country, sometimes there are negative stereotypes when it comes to TVET because maybe it was not being seen as the mainstream education. So for you, Michelle, how does Germany overcome these negative stereotypes about vocational and promote the public awareness of the importance of the career potential in TVET?
Okay, I would generally say that the association with this program is generally quite positive because it is well established and it has been there, to be honest, for a very, very, very long time, and it is associated with a high standard. So when employers are actually really looking for apprentices that are willing to undergo the program with them, or people that already have undergone that program and that they can employ. What, however, we can see in Germany, since education is free, that includes bachelor's degrees and master's degrees. In the past years, a lot of people prefer to go to university, since there is not this barrier anymore of carrying tuition fees. The big benefit of the vocational program, though, is that in most cases you're earning money already. So I would say that there is not really a negative stereotype. It is more something that, you know, in Germany, we in schools also undergo certain weeks and days where there are professionals coming that are also giving us consultation on what is the right professional path for us. So quite early on, you try to evaluate as a student there, what is something that suits me, you know? You do not need to necessarily go through the academic path, you know, or 100% academic path. It really depends on what your career aspirations are, as well as, you know, do you really prefer to do something more hands-on? Or do you, maybe if you want to go into academics, it's quite clear you need to go to university, but this is not for everyone. So,
And by your points, it gets me thinking, what kind of strategies or initiative by the authorities in Germany to ensure accessibility and opportunity for any student from any background to get the education from TVET?
So generally, Germany is a welfare state, so there are a lot of strategies in place in all the different parts of your life to support you, no matter from which socioeconomic background you are. So as mentioned previously, education general is free already, and in many cases, I would say students or apprentices from certain backgrounds prefer to go for this program because that burden of not making money is lifted, because in this case they can already, you know, make money. However, there are additional measurements by the German government in order to support you if this allowance is not sufficient for you to, you know, cover your living expenses. For instance, for the programs that are purely educational, not dual, so you're not making any allowance, not getting any allowance, there is something called BAföG. It's a certain amount of money. It depends from case to case. It's evaluated, and you do not need to pay it back as well as a support. If you are receiving that allowance, there is also something like a housing benefit if you're, for instance, not living at home anymore. So there are different options that the government provides to support.
Dan Cik Hamidi melihat kepada inisiatif dan juga langkah-langkah kerajaan Jerman ini, macam mana kita di Malaysia ini boleh follow the footstep juga?
Ya, saya, you know, looking at apa yang Jerman dah buat, and also some of the program and also initiative yang especially my son ambil, I think first and foremost kita as a country need to plan ahead how to, you know, really develop as a nation of expertise and also certain technology yang we are good at. We have been, you know, moving into the vision of 2020 and moving forward. Saya rasa you know, that part of how to emulate in terms of the program in Germany, like say for example this TVET, have to be a concerted effort. How do you actually plan ahead? For example, as a parent, we want the best for our children, and one of the things has always been how after SPM, what they're going to do, Fahmi. Kan? Jadi untuk AbroadAssist, kita ada certain program that we run. Maknanya some of the program is actually like, for example, this case, which is the apprenticeship or ataupun Ausbildung. We are also looking into ways in which you can go to Germany after you punya A-level and then enroll actually in a bachelor degree program. And this bachelor degree program, unlike some people have, is that we can promote it, or it's actually been run, English, medium of instruction will be in English. So maknanya sekarang ni, the other twist is you don't have to learn German, but you can you can actually go into a program in bachelor degree in which the medium of instruction is already in English. So that's one point in which we all can consider moving forward. You know, what we need to do as a nation, how to progress further into a developed or advanced nation, and then kita kena plan ahead lah. That's my thing. It has always been, how do you want to plan and execute the plan. Kalau kita tak plan ahead, and then you know, some of these things are just left as, you know, on the report and so forth, I rasa it will be difficult.
Dan apa mungkin macam tips yang ingin dikongsikan kepada ibu bapa di luar sana daripada perspektif Cik Hamidi dan juga AbroadAssist, kalau ada dalam kalangan anak-anak mereka yang berniat untuk menyambung pengajian dalam TVET di Germany, mungkin ada tips-tips atau perkongsian yang dikongsikan kepada mereka?
So I think first and foremost, I think kita pun nak kena tanyakan dia which field of expertise ataupun which field of focus yang anak-anak dia ada intention. Macam for example, I am really looking forward ataupun maybe more focused towards STEM lah, ataupun engineering, science, technology. So if they want to develop into that particular field, then perhaps dia nak kena ambil subjek-subjek dalam tekan A level yang menjurus kepada that part. Maknanya mathematics, physics, biology. Kalau katakan dia nak go into business, then they take economic. Kalau katakan dia nak untuk IT, maybe computer science and so forth. Jadi dia as a parents nak kena plan ahead anak kita punya schedule, anak kita punya program. And then after you have planned ahead tu, then you have to see lah which program is available. Macam yang kita cakap tadi, if let's say that they are more looking into vocational, then we can develop that particular language skill yang dia nak, in order for them to be absorbed almost immediately into the workforce. Kalau katakan dia nak more into academic, then we can look into macam saya cakap tadi lah, then develop the skill in terms of let's say dia punya A-level program, masukkan program yang betul supaya then when they apply to Germany, they can get accepted into the program yang apa yang dia nak. So those are the kind of thing yang rasa parents nak kena prepare their son ataupun daughter moving forward. And then macam yang saya cakap tadi, mula-mula dia kena prepare lah for them to be independent. Maknanya get away from the kepompong, get out from the comfort zone kita, and make sure that they are able to survive even though that they are thousands of miles away. Tapi saya rasa Fahmi sekarang is very easy. Kita last time, I rasa dulu masa zaman saya, kita nak kena write aerogram. Kan? And then that will take maybe about 2 weeks for coming to my parents and 2 weeks for me to get a reply. Now we just pick up the phone and then we can do voice conference in an instant, which is very good. So I think makin lama our life becoming very advanced, and the communication gap too is now very narrow lah, unlike before, which is quite huge.
And also Michelle, if there's any individual interested in pursuing their study in TVET in Germany, how can AbroadAssist give any assistance or help?
Oh, there are many ways. As previously mentioned, one of them is ensure that the language skills are really, at par with what is expected, because those programs are in German. I can take away the fear a bit, I think, of many parents. The kid does not need to be an expert in the field already in order to start this program, because the whole point of the program is to actually undergo the training, So you do not need, for instance, in the case of your son, right, doing IT, he did not need to be an expert in IT before doing that, It is something, it's of course good to have the interest in the field and maybe some basic knowledge, but it's not a must, and you're picking up that during that time. AbroadAssist, generally, we are trying to support our students with every step that they take, There are different challenges depending on the program. If it's this one or studying that we're helping, sometimes the challenges can be, simply the application process. How can we prep them in order to ace the interviews with the companies? Because there are certain things that you need to know. I've previously worked in recruiting, so I always try to, bring in my knowledge that I know about the German recruiting situation, or we're facing the fact that we're not having enough supply of skilled workforce. So in order to, to really ace it, I always try to bring in this expertise that we have as well, the knowledge that we have straight away from Germany. But as said, we know every step that the students need to take, we try to build the bridge and support them.
Wow, I might as well going to sign up for AbroadAssist. I guess you guys in Germany. Okay, terima kasih saya ucapkan kepada Encik Hamidi Halim, Pengarah AbroadAssist, dan juga thank you to Michelle Maali yang merupakan influencer dan juga warga Jerman dan Naib Presiden AbroadAssist Jerman atas perkongsian berkenaan bagaimana sebenarnya Jerman menjadikan TVET itu sebagai satu perkara yang penting dalam melahirkan bakat-bakat, dan juga bagaimana boleh menginspirasikan Malaysia mengikut langkah yang sama. Dan saya kira itu saja Awani Pagi pada jam ini. Terima kasih kerana menonton. Jumpa lagi.